Following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Commission meeting, October 14th, 2020.
It's a family home that they've gotten in the past Saturday. Is that what
But if you find that, I'm curious to know because,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so she called me Saturday morning. Okay, good morning and welcome to the Wednesday, October 14th regular scheduled meeting of the White Pine County Commission. Would you all please stand and join us in the pledge? Travis, news, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Before we get started, the board will be just a couple minutes late. She's tied up with something. And as per normal, we'll start the meeting with the moment of silence and prayer. But today, I got a phone call yesterday from Bald Mountain Mine, and in your thoughts this morning, they had an employee pass with the COVID yesterday. The employee was at the Bald Mountain Mine. They have taken precautions as they always do, but the employee was from Elko and passed away in Elko. So if you want to think, maybe have something silent, meditation, and say something or feel something for that family. Okay. With that being said, we'll go into our moment of silence. Okay, the first item on the agenda today is public comment. Is there any public comment? Anybody on the phone, public comment, Mike? Anyone out there? If not, we'll have anyone in the audience today with public comment. Seeing that, go ahead, please come forward, state your
I've
name.
never been here before, so I don't know.
Please come forward and state your name, please.
Deborah Wood here. I have a comment on the roads. Okay, last month they were doing the roads by my house on Parker. They did Center, Strandman, Ruby, Orson, 15th Street. The little thing off of 15th Street, which is only 2 houses. Bay, Ely. How come you never do Parker? Been here 17 years.
That's the city road department, that's not the county road department.
Something like that?
You live in the city limits, Parker is in the city.
Yes.
So that's the city.
Oh, okay. I don't know. For some reason.
But it's an RTC project.
It is.
But it's
It's our
RTC.
cooperation with that, so it's state property.
17 years, I've never seen Parker done. Why? All around it's done. Parker and Ogden, the main streets to go to the dump. We have a lot of traffic. Our road is horrible. Just bringing it up.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment in the audience? Maybe. Seeing none, George, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you that that lady has a valid complaint. You're on the RTC, and you know better than that. Should have given her a better answer. They have put that slurry seal on streets that are in darn good shape. Maybe 3 years old, 4 years old, and yet they ignore Parker, they ignore the upper end of Stevens. All those streets in Central Ely need to be addressed. You're not doing that. And that includes North Street. Mr. Chairman, I want to remind you the state health mandates the mask must be worn with social distancing when out in the public or in public meetings. Commissioner Bullis has attended at least 13 or 14 public meetings that I have attended and has not worn a mask. He continues that to this date. As a public official took an oath to enforce and abide all laws, he needs to comply or resign. The rest of the commission has the same obligation. Do your jobs or resign. That goes for other elected officials as well. We lost a dedicated public health officer who worked for peanuts, $100 a month, if you fail to give him the proper support. Let me tell you, COVID is a very real thing. Every day our numbers are going up. We're up to 88. Now we have 2 businesses closed because of the virus, and it's only going to get worse if we don't take the minimum precautions. It's not a big deal to wear a mask. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 1B2, you're to consider establishing a volunteer fire station on private property. I want to know who's going to pay for and build the building, who's going to pay for the needed equipment, who's going to pay for any utilities. Why are you considering private property? Other businesses, such as those in the mining industry, build their own buildings, purchase their own equipment, and train their people. You need to take that into consideration. Taxpayer has no obligation for private enterprise out in that area. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 1E1, you're to terminate any and all, you're to consider, excuse me, to terminate any and all, let me start over. On your agenda item 1E1, you need to terminate any and all road agreements with Western Oil, Western Gold, and Energex. This has been going on for several months. There's no sign of cooperation. They're failing to maintain the roadway that they have disrupted. It is not the taxpayer's obligation for the destruction they have caused. Mr. Chairman, I have yet to see an item on your agenda regarding the Victims Fund. I want to remind you that I have yet to receive compensation for damages I have suffered for $200 in broken windows, and most recently another $150 in broken window damage. You're building a new Justice Center. Does that include everyone? Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 1C1, you consider approval to join Lander County in a civil complaint against the state of Nevada. It's such a big concern, why are there not 17 counties involved? How are we spending our money here, Mr. Chairman?
Your 3 minutes are up, George.
I need some answers, sir.
Thank
I'm
you.
not getting any. I'm
Thank you for your comment.
disappointed in you.
Thank you. Okay, any other public comment before we leave? And I do apologize, George is right, I should have been more courteous to you, and I do apologize for that. And we will look into it, I don't know, Chief Steve, so I'm sorry. Okay, anybody else on public comment, either in the building or on the phone? Anybody on the phone? Hearing none and seeing none, we'll move forward with the page 2. Under item 1, notice of untimed items, it's a 9 a.m. public hearing. It's a public hearing for discussion, possible action. The White Pine County Board of County Commissioners will take public comment regarding the receipt of a notice from the state engineer of the Division of Water Resources that Bema Gold Incorporated, through its agents, Hydrotech Consulting Services LLC and Dixon Hydraulic PLLC, of an application 89953T filed on July 27, 2020. This application proposes to change the point of diversion of the existing permit number 26239 from underground source in White Pine County to a well site located within Nye County. The Board of Commissioners may approve a course of action to recommend to the state engineer. Mike, why don't you take this?
I don't really know anything about this.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's, who put this on, or
Brian,
Brian, is Brian on the Zoom right now? Does he want to address it?
Brian, you out there?
He's not. So I'll follow up with him, and this is an opportunity, I guess, for us to hear from the individuals in our community that live down near that point of diversion, who can give some evidence and talk about whether they have objections to ranchers or other water right holders in that area. And we can even send some of this up to Jeremy Drew to have it evaluated and see if this is something that we want to object to or partner with. On its face, This is a commercial enterprise that'll be doing business in Nye County, so I mean, we want to be good neighbors, but on the other hand, we have to be careful with the water appropriation in our basins because that stuff's getting locked down year after year. And so this opportunity to talk about it, I guess, and we're going to another public hearing when we have more information.
What I know about it is it's just a temporary move from White County into Nye County. Looks like it says Kinross on the application. But that's all I've ever heard on it.
And this is a public hearing. If anyone has a comment either on the phone or in the audience, I think Mike's given us a pretty good idea of what's going on, but we still need to hear from Brian, who's probably been working on this, so let's kind of move forward and let this public hearing go to the next meeting.
Yeah, I just want to know more about the temporary nature of it. You know, if this is a one-time filler reservoir kind of situation for pumping or for a drill site, you know, it's not as big a deal as if this is some sort of ongoing and how much water are they looking to take as well, you know, so.
Right.
I'll
Okay.
get some more information, I apologize.
Okay, that being said, and no other, please, George, you have a comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Without knowing everything, the thing that concerns me here, where you're approving the action of the transfer of water from White Pine County to Nye, you better be careful what you folks do. You've got Clark County looking to transfer water out of White Pine County to Clark County. So be careful of what kind of message you send out without knowing all the facts. Thank you.
That's exactly what we do. Okay. Anybody else gonna comment on this or anything? We're gonna move on. So we're gonna go and we'll address this at the next county commission meeting. We're gonna move on to, well, we have a 9:15, we're right on it just about. Where's my phone? The phone clock is just a minute off. I think we can go into the 9:15, can't we, by the time we get there? Half a click. Let's go ahead and open the fire commission meeting at,
We better just go to something else.
all right.
Just do the consent agenda.
Let's just do the consent agenda real quick, and that would be on page 8. Or 7. Excuse me. Okay, page 7, item 3, consent agenda. Do I have anything on the consent agenda, or I'll look for a motion to do the consent agenda? To approve it. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve is presented.
Okay, motion by Shane, second by Lori. Any further comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. That's unanimous. Oh, we're right here. Go to item 4. Approval of the minutes from the following county commission meetings, September 9th, 2020, and September 23rd, 2020. Any additions, subtractions, or corrections? Hearing none, seeing none, I'll look for a motion to approve those two minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes of September 9th and September 23rd.
Okay, motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. I think now we're good, Mike? Looking at the clock.
Yep.
9:15. So, now we'll go back to page 2. Item B is the 9:15 fire commission meeting. And the first item on the fire commission meeting is a public comment. Is there any public comment on the phone on the fire commission meeting?
No, sir.
None? Anybody in the audience on the fire commission meeting? Please come forward. Okay, George?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, at numerous county commission meetings, I've asked if the fire chief has had a chance to inspect the ingress egress on Avenue D, accessing Highway 93 near the Holiday Inn. The road is much too narrow to allow an emergency vehicle, let alone a large fire truck or ladder truck. The Holiday Inn is a 3-story structure. The city of Edie has failed miserably to address the issue. There's no proper ADA access along Van Camp Junkyard. The curb should have been installed back another 6 feet to allow for a wider road. The county and the city of Edie need to hire engineers and inspectors to know what they're doing, and abide by codes that have been adopted. We can't let this linger. If anything stupid happens down there, I believe you're liable. It's been brought to your attention, you're not doing anything. There are codes regarding street widths, And when you have fire and emergency apparatus that needs access, you need to address that before something stupid happens. You're ignoring that, and it needs to stop. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other public comment in the fire district? Nobody on the phone, nobody in the audience, so we'll go ahead and proceed. Item 1 on page 2 is discussion update on the fire district progress. Brett North Fire Chief and Pat Stork, Ely Volunteer Fire Chief.
Okay.
Fire district progress is going good. Numbers in all our volunteer departments are going up. Everybody's gained a couple people over the last month or so. Lackawanna's up to 16 members. McGill's got 25 right now. Baker's grabbed a couple, Lun's grabbed a couple, so we're doing good there. The response has been good to the calls from all of them. I think that's about it on that. The new ambulance that we're purchasing should be here towards the end of the month. That'll be the one that goes to the city to replace that older ambulance up there that was leased to them. So it should be here towards the end of the month and in service. Pat and myself went out to the Silver Lion Farms the other day and toured that. Everything's looking good out there. Facilities all look good. I don't foresee any real issues out there when we was looking around.
No, at this time, on our end, we got everything, right now, we got our training schedule put out through the end of November. We've shared that with Brett, so he can get it to all the volunteer departments, so, that's been going good. We got all the good participation from the county volunteer departments coming and doing training. We did training at the burn tower. We did emergency vehicle operations, driving course that they participated in. We're still doing weekly EMS Zoom, so Baker, Lund, everybody can participate in their EMS CEUs without having to travel. They can do it from home, so that's all been going good. And other than that, we haven't had no issues on anything at this point.
Yeah, we do have an extrication training scheduled for November 21st. And that'll be joined with all of us out of Station 1.
I got one question on, you say we're giving the ambulance to the city of Ely. What's gonna happen to the ambulance that we loaned out to the city? Is it coming back to the county?
As far as I know.
Maybe we should make sure of that.
Yeah,
See what's happening with that. Well, we have a new ambulance going to the city, and you've got one that we loaned to you, so
Yeah, and I don't know where that went. I wasn't involved in those meetings, so I don't know what it was, but that was the ambulance that the city and the county were gonna buy together. They were gonna split and do a joint thing. And then, I don't know, I wasn't in the meeting, but then I guess the county decided they had some grant money and they were gonna buy it. So, I'm kinda out of the loop on that. That was before my time, so I don't really know where we're at on that.
Elizabeth has her hand up, so she's
Yeah.
probably got a comment.
Well, yeah, I'd just like to do some clarifying comments. The contract between the city and the county for fire protection services and EMS services calls that we provide them with one ambulance leased to them at $1 a year. They went ahead and indicated to us that they felt that ambulance we have in place is getting older and needed replacement. So we do have a budget for an ambulance, and this year it's another agenda item that will be coming up shortly. But under the terms of the agreement we have with the city in place, we'll be providing the one ambulance by upgrading it to a new one and taking the other one back for county use.
And then your fire chief will reallocate it to where it's best used.
Okay, that's all I wanted to do. Okay, that's fine. Anybody else got a question from the update? Go ahead.
Yeah, just curious what kind of movement has been in regards to the fire marshal stuff that you guys had talked about at the last meeting?
For the inspector course?
Yes.
So we're getting that work together now. We got the pricing put together on that. It's mostly gonna be an online course. Everybody that participates is gonna do. We're getting the cost set down to it, trying to get a schedule put together. There'll be a couple of classes that we'll have to do in person that I'll be able to teach and do that portion of it to just get our basic fire life safety inspection. So we're working on the scheduling of that now. We've been in contact with the fire marshal's office, so we're hoping to get that started before the end of the year to get the books and everything we need to do to get that class started.
That'd be great, thank you.
And as far as the inspection contract that you guys were discussing with another company, I have no idea where that's gone to.
Anyone else got a question in the fire, or in the, just in the update? Okay, thank you for that, and I think we'll just move on to item number 2, if that's all right. Item number
Thanks,
2.
guys.
Thanks. Item number 2 under the fire commission is the discussion for possible action, the approval of an agreement between White Pine County and the White Pine County Fire District and Silver Lion Farms LLC for the establishment of a fire district volunteer fire station, Loggy Station, to be located upon Silver Lion Farms property near Loggy's Junction, Brett North. Brett?
Yes, we was approached by them to get something going on that direction for quicker response times up that north end of the county. We toured the facility the other day. They've got a heated building that's in place. We'll provide a structure engine and a handler. They're providing a water tender, and will be no cost to us. And we've got 10 volunteers for sure on that, possibly 14, depending on his applications he turns in today. So, should be a win for everybody. I've got an engine and an ambulance to go up there, so it'll help our response times for anything on that end of the county, accident-wise, fire, wildland fire, and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, with the number of traffic incidents we have between Loggies and Wells that we respond to, that is such a tough stretch of highway. I think it'd be great if we had a station further up.
Yeah, it just takes so long to get there from McGill or Ely. So.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Yeah, and the fact that there's no cost to the county is another plus.
Yeah, it's a plus there.
Yeah, we got the equipment to put there, so why not?
Yeah, why not do it?
Sure.
Any other commissioner gonna comment on this, and we'll do
No,
this
I
next
just,
time?
where some of that is locked up, I just would caution that they always have a 24-hour point person, and that you have a number to be able to get a hold of them. I think there's a gate there.
There's a gate, they're gonna leave access 24/7 for fire district, volunteers and employees.
Okay.
Yeah. We will have,
And to get
24/7.
into the building.
into the building as well.
Okay.
Just keypad locks or?
I'm not real sure yet, we haven't got to that, but probably.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I thought was extremely important, to make sure that there's a point of contact 24/7 in case there's any issues. And then, you know, whatever will be so far as the access that's agreed upon.
Yeah. And that's all in the agreement. That,
Well, kind of. That's why I brought it up. I didn't see too much in regards to that, but I'm sure that that'll be taken care of.
yes,
So-
it will be.
Seeing as how they all live on site, I'm not terribly concerned about it.
No, there's a bunch of them that do live on site.
They all live.
Yeah, so,
Most of them do.
So they're all interested in coming down for the trainings and working with the city of Ely, and
yeah,
just like any of our other volunteer fire stations.
yeah,
Right.
And they're gonna respond to our accidents up there and help us.
yeah. He's got 2 EMTs right now,
Awesome.
and he's wanting to send 2 to 4 more. And then I think everybody's gonna do firefighter 1 with them next time we have the class, so.
That's one of our weakest areas of coverage up there, that's a huge benefit to the county.
Absolutely.
Are there any other comments by any commissioner or anybody? If not, we'll look for a motion to approve the agreement between White Pine County and Silver Lion Farms.
So moved.
Motion by Ian,
Second.
second by Shane. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 3 on page 2. Under the fire district is discussion for possible action. It's the approval of an alternate funding source in the fire district to pay for the amount necessary for a new ambulance, $137,905, if the governor's finance office denies it under the coronavirus relief funds. Elizabeth.
Thank you. And this item has to do with the ambulance that we set aside $100,000 in CARES Act funding for. And at the point I went ahead and put this agenda item on, the governor's finance office was telling me that they weren't sure that this qualified. And I have since received an email from them at the end of last week or the beginning of this week that said, no, you're good, go ahead and proceed. So the total cost, I'll just give you an update while I'm on this subject. The total cost of the ambulance will be $187,905. We have been able to acquire the ambulance through a joiner agreement with the Houston Galveston Area Council Purchasing Cooperative, which is allowed pursuant to NRS 332. And I believe, is Brett still here? They are anticipating that they should have this here by the end of this month. The cost will be covered by $100,000 from CARES Act funding, $50,000 from the USDA grant, and the balance of the $37,905 will be covered out of the fire district funds. Now, these funds were not budgeted in this year, but I spoke to Brett about this, and my proposal is that we budgeted $1 million for capital improvements. We will not need to spend nearly all of that for the paving projects and the upgrade to the McGill VFD. So I'm going to transfer that $37,905 from capital improvements to equipment, and we'll effect the purchase with those 3 funding sources, and get that ambulance here, and hopefully by the end of the month, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So we should be good to go.
Great work, you guys, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Any questions to Elizabeth about the funding? By any commissioner? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Lori.
Second.
Second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 4, discussion for possible action, the approval to contract with Dr. Dana Vitale, MD, to fill the position of the White Pine County EMS Medical Director at a cost of $12,000 annually. The cost is to be split equally between the City of Ely and White Pine County.
Thank you, and this was approved at your last meeting by the Board of County Commissioners. It also needs to be approved by the Board of Fire Commissioners, so I put this back on the agenda for your approval today.
Any questions by the commissioners? I'll look for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Motion by Shane.
Second?
Second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 5. Item 5 is discussion for possible action, the approval of resolution 2020-63 to augment the fire district general fund from unanticipated and unbudgeted beginning fund balance in the amount of $6,000 to pay for the emergency medical director services.
Motion to approve
Okay.
resolution 2020-63?
Motion by Lori.
Second.
Second by Shane. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Page 3, item 6, discussion for possible action, the approval of monthly financial reports for the September 2020. Elizabeth Francis.
Thank you, and that information is in your packets. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'd ask for you to approve as presented.
Any questions by anyone? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve the reports.
So moved.
Motion by Ian,
Second.
second by Shane. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. And the last item in the fire district is number 7, discussion for possible action, the approval of the minutes from the fire commission meeting on September 9th, 2020. Any additions, subtractions, or corrections? Hearing none and seeing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes from September 9th?
Motion by Lori. Second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. And the last item in the fire district this morning is the public comment. Is there any public comment on the phone? No? Okay. Tim?
Good morning. Just in regards to the, on the fire district, thing as far as the Silver Light and Farms and the space out there, I think it's a great